That's what we're doing today. We are taking a number and we are yachaing it into pieces. So 684 is 684. We're going to use this method to solve multi-digit by one-digit multiplication problems. We're going to use what we know about area and perimeter to help us. Area is length times width. We're going to use that same kind of idea when we are figuring out our multiplication equations today. So we are going to first take a number, and we are going to yachat into pieces, 684, because multiplying by multiples of tens and hundreds is just using our basic facts. So hopefully you find it a little more simple than seeing a large number and trying to attack it. Let's get started. We're going to start slow. 24. If we yacha 24 in half, we get 20 and 4. And we are multiplying it by 3. So 24 3 times. Multiplying it by 3. So let's use some colors to help us out. 24. We yachat it into 24. And we're multiplying by 3. Multiplying by 3. This is where our knowledge of area comes in, because we are going to multiply 3 times 20 and 3 times 4. First, 3 times 20. If we covered up this zero. 3 times 2 equals 6. And how many zeros did we cover up? 1. Now if we do 3, we've done 3 times 20. So we go ahead and cross that out. Now 3 times 4 equals 12. So now we've used our knowledge of basic facts to get these dealy bobs. What are these called? Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? Partial products. They're just aligned a little differently. So we've used an area model, because we take the width times the length of something. And we've used that to get our partial products. Our partial products are 60 and 12. What do we do with partial products? We add them. 2 plus 0 is 2, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So it's a different way to multiply, but it lines it out a little bit more for you. The next one, we're going to go up a little bit. We are going to yacha this 356 into pieces. Yacha! We have 356 as 356. 356. We're going to multiply that by 3. And we're going to use our knowledge of area to multiply this 3 by 300, 3 by 50, and 3 by 6. Multiply, multiply, multiply. Before we get started, we can do that crazy awesome thing where we can cover up some zeros, because I want to use basic facts to find my product as easily as I can. This is who I am. 3 times 3 is 9. How many zeros did we cover up? 1, 2. 1, 2. 3 times 300 is 900. We're done with that one. Got it. Oops. Now we're going to cover up our 0 here. 3 times 5 is 15. How many zeros did I cover up? 1. And we're done with that one. 3 times 6 is 18. Now I've used my basic facts to find my partial products. What do we do with partial products? We put them right here, and we add them up. Zero plus 0 is 0, plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 5 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus nothing is 10. So we laid it all out in an area model. We yachad 356 into 356. We multiplied each one by 3. 3 times 300, 3 times 50, 3 times 6. And we found our partial products, and all we had to do at the end was add them up. And we're going to do one more using the area model. We are going to take 2,357. We're going to yachad into pieces into 2,357. We're going to multiply that by 6. We're going to use our knowledge of area to multiply 6 by 2,000, 6 by 300, 6 times 50, and 6 times 7. Let's go. We're going to use, I need to use squares because if I use my hand, you wouldn't be able to see my hand. First off, 6 times 2 equals 12. How many zeros did I cover up? 1, 2, 3. And now we're done with that one. Grab here. 6 times 3 is 18. How many zeros did I cover up? 2. 1, 2. And we're done with that one. Come over here and cover up that 0. 6 times 5 is 30. How many zeros did I cover up? Just 1. And 6 times 7, oops, we're done with that one. 6 times 7 is 42. We look at these are partial products. Here, I got an idea. Hopefully you have your whiteboard or a piece of paper. I'll race you. Who can write partial products faster? Ready? On your marks, pause me if you're not ready. No cheating. I don't want you to write it while I'm paused or get a head start. Ready? On your marks. Get set. Go. Who's faster? I got done. All right. So these are our partial products. We need to now take our partial products and add them together. We have a 12,000. We have a 1,800. We have a 300. And a 42. What do we do with partial products? We add them. 0 plus 0 is 0. Plus 0 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 0 is 0. Plus 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 8 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. Plus nothing is still 11. 1 down here. 1 up here. Don't forget about him. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. Plus nothing is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 1. There's our answer. So again, we yachad 2,357 into 2,357, gave each one a little square. We used our knowledge of area to multiply each one of those by 6 times. We found our partial products by multiplying using basic facts to figure out multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. We got our partial products and we added them together. Now, just for a review, we're going to do one equation using the standard algorithm. Just the standard algorithm. I want you to really focus and do this with me. This is important that you know this and not just race through it. Don't get ahead of me, please. We're going to start with the ones place. 8 times 5 is 40. With 40, whoops, there's a 0 in the ones place and a 4 in the tens place. I put this in its box because we're adding that only. Now we're going to go back down to this 5. That's always our starting point. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 4 is 4. Now we are done with the ones place, we're done with this adding box, and we're done with the tens place. We're going to go starting at our 5, that's always our starting point. 5 times 4 is 20, and we don't have anything in our adding box. But instead of this, it's actually 5 times 400, because this 4 is in the hundreds place. 5 times 400, 5 times 400 would actually be 2,000. So in the hundreds place of your product, we're going to have 0, and then up in the thousands, we're going to have 2. This is an add only. Now again, go back. Oh, we're done with the hundreds place. Go back and start with your 5. Always starting with your 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. Hopefully you followed along. If you need to replay that, there's nothing wrong with it, but standard algorithm is tricky because of the steps. If you go straight to the adding box, you're going to have problems. The adding box comes at the end, and those numbers, you only add them. Multiply, then add. Multiply, then add. Multiply, then add. All right, so in review, you take a number, you yacha it into pieces, then you use that to help solve. So yacha 24 into 24. Use your knowledge of basic facts to help you figure out 3 times 20 is 60, and 3 times 4 is 12. These are now your partial products, and you add them together. Rock on.